And here we are on the map at the top right-hand corner. Terrorizing through his opponents so far. Now presented with quite a challenge, however. Guys in the red, he is Protoss, he is Tyr. Tyr is going to be facing off in the bottom left against his opponent from Team StarTale. Just took WCG, man, over Adele Scott. Now we'll see if he can get things a little bit established, get things rolling here for Team StarTale. Guys, it's parting.
Wins all tournaments and begin with WC. Also won WCS and collected a huge sum for that. Wasn't the first prize $100,000? I think,
yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was offhand though. But yeah, so I mean, this guy's made a lot of money at StarCraft recently. He's a very well-rounded player, very strong in all matchups. But now being sent in PvP, where he frankly has shined recently.
Yeah, Parting's play. I mean, one of the things that's really cool about Parting's PvP is it's really safe, and he has the ability to macro actually extremely well. You know, it's the 2-gate robo. I mean, we see a lot of these openings that have like this real, you know, Kev, it's like sometimes you can go really far with something. How we discuss how it's like rock, paper, scissors, and there's like balance, there's there's balance, there's aggression, and of course there's like a really, really macro-intensive build. But there's always these beautiful sweet spots kind of in between those extremes. And I think one of the things you see is like these players always seek to find those, where I can be as greedy as possible while still being safe against the majority of builds. And Parting has just done a great job securing that. And of course, he puts soul into everything, so
oh, naturally.
Prime ingredient.
Yes. Gotta have soul.
Oh, God. Will we see the soulmometer repeat?
Well, it depends on how many games he wins here, and if he has to play Zerg, and if he Immortal Century all-ins. All right, so gas coming up, second gas, I should say, coming up for both players at about the same time. You can see that Parting was just slightly slower on his first gas, so he's about 10 gas behind, but I mean, really not that big of a difference between these two guys at this moment. The biggest one, of course, being that we have a Zealot coming up for Tyr. No such Zealot being produced for Parting, who looks like he's going to open with a 3 Stalker build. Yep,
looks like that's going to be the case for now. Second gas just completing. And Tyr, in the meantime, well, he does have both of his gases, so shouldn't be going for any absurdly fast pressure, but we'll be anxious to see what tack he opts for here, as he is currently still working on that Zealot and queues up a sentry behind it. Okay.
All right, so he's going to use his resources in a slightly different way. He gets a great read on what Parting's doing, but Parting could be definitely going for some sort of a Blink Stalker play, could be going for a relatively quick expansion too. You know, but Tyr, on the other hand, we're probably... Okay, he's actually throwing down a Twilight Council. I wonder where he's going to go now, because usually with a couple of sentries that are produced at the beginning, you're going to see some sort of a relatively fast expansion, whether that's behind a robo or something like that is different. But Tyr's actually switching things up on us. He's got the 100 gas saved up, so it looks like he's going to throw down a robo. Possibly. I don't know, though.
Yeah, it could be a robo, it could be a Dark Shrine. Both of these are entirely possible.
Gateway? Yeah.
Second gateway. Dark Shrine looking ever more possible here with the two Zealots. Now, this is pretty easy for Parting to read, though, if he does get up there with those initial Stalkers.
And Parting is going, well, appears to be Blink Stalkers from what we've seen. Now, of course, he still needs 250 gas and 100 minerals in order to put down the Dark Shrine. He's queuing it up, and there it is. DTs.
All right. So, Tyr going to be... using the cloaked units. Parting has no detection as of yet. Now, he could be going... I'm about to get to 100 gas. Probe is going out, Robo. And that's going to be so nice for Parting, who's going for the Blink Stalker with an Observer build here.
Yeah, I mean, Robotics Facility only takes 65 seconds, too. So built into the fact that you have to have, you know, units that are warping into your opponent's base, and that's almost exactly the time that we're going to see an Observer pop up.
Yep.
Now, Parting still could take some damage from this. This is not saying that if you make an Observer, you win the game because you counter DTs, because if he slips a little bit too far away, if the DTs even get in and kill 5 or 6 workers, then that's going to safely allow Tyr to take his own expansion, which is coming up much sooner than Parting's is.
So, Blink is nearing completion here, so is the Robo. We've got the pylon being constructed on the left-hand side. As you said, Kev, those DTs are going to be warping in a little... They'll be arriving... I'd say the Observer, you know, it's going to be towards the middle of the map probably at that point, because he will, of course, chrono boost that out. But it's going to be able to quickly turn around here And Tyr, well, then he's going to have to make a decision. Parting will have to make a call here. He can come back, deal with the Dark Templars, and then head back on the aggressive. His Stalkers are already on the opposite side of the map, so he's going to have to bring them home, or he can continue sending... Oh, he's making a second Observer.
Yep, then he's going to be just fine.
Okay,
Actually,
no
take
decision.
a look. Yeah.
It's easy mode from here, actually.
All right, well, he's going to pick off the Nexus. He'll be able to blink into the main and get around these sentries. There's really not much on the field for Tyr at all. By the time he produces some sort of an Immortal, it's going to be way too long. Oh, this Observer needs to turn around.
Yeah, but, I mean, as long as Parting plays this even, like, decently correct, I mean, he's going to win this game.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely. I mean, he's got a pretty big advantage right now. He just needs to warp in some units back at home. He deals with the first Dark Templar, and Dark Templar does sneak a few worker kills, but he can reproduce those pretty easily. Expansion goes down for Tyr, and all he has to do is blink into the main.
Yeah, Parting, you know, he's going to be pretty upset about those few worker kills, Kevin, so now he's going to go for a few building kills. Maybe force a GG. We'll see.
Yeah.
Stalker's blinking into the main, and there is not going to be much that Tyr can do about this. The pylon, in fact,
Artos'
pylon be sniped, and that just solidifies things even more so.
Yeah, Artos' pylon, never fun to deal with, and Parting's going to play this a little bit slower. He's in a position where you could actually blink down onto the low ground if he wants to, but it looks like no, he's going to take the aggressive here, continue to deny pylons, and boom goes the dynamite. Another pylon's trying to come up right now, but this is a lost cause, unfortunately.
The amount of money I would pay in order to see... By the way, a lot of probes killed off there, yeah. I mean, Tyr, he still doesn't really have any units here. But, hey, you know what? If that pylon had not been sniped, this actually could have gone entirely different.
Well, we'll see here. I mean, this pylon's going to finish in a second, and there is an Immortal that's going to pop up. Now, this is still a lot of Blink Stalkers, and it's still a really good position for Parting, but we'll see if he can defend behind this.
He's just losing so much mining time right now. Oh, that Immortal was... All right, that's a dead pylon again. No more units.
Yeah.
And that kind of closes things out.
And all he needs to do is focus down the Immortal here. He's killing more workers on the way out. Actually brings up the Zealot, which is really nice because that sits there and tanks the damage while he picks off workers.
Zealot armor OP, Kevin.
Yes, it is. Almost as OP as Immortal armor, but once again, just a couple of shots and he'll be able to take that out pretty easily. There's the blink on top of it. Last couple of units are going to die here for Tyr, who is down to 14 supply and falling. There's GG. And even though we only saw one of the games in which he won, he does take 2 games in total for FXO, and then ends up dying to Parting.
Hey, a very nice start here for, you know, not one of FXO's anchor players. Very, very strong on their roster, of course, but it's not one of the players that they're always going to be relying on. Instead, perhaps this gentleman.
That's right. Coming up next now for Team FXO is the one and only incomparable Gumiho, the Terran player who has been tearing things up lately.
Oh, that was cute.
Yeah.
Especially because Tyr and that could, you know, be a homonym for Tear.
He has been, though. He's been destroying lately in team leagues. He's been playing so well, and now we're going to see how he can handle one of the very best players in the world right now in StarTale Parting.
Absolutely. Guys, we're going to cut to a quick commercial break, and then we'll see if StarTale Parting is going to be able to even things up for his team, or if Gumiho is going to stretch it back to a 2-game lead.